Hi.
Hi.
There you go. That's my intro for this stream. Hope you guys appreciated it. If you thought it was an intro with a lot of effort in it, you can show your appreciation with a thumbs up. On the video, of course. I don't care if you're thumbsing me up in real life. In fact, don't do that. It spreads coronavirus. So do it safely with the thumbs up on YouTube. What's up, Luciferius? Welcome. And what's up, Veeq? Welcome.
Good. I'm doing some Python today, like yesterday, and it's not that bad, actually.
I was going to say, man, you can't say good and then say Python. But apparently you can.
Yeah, I guess.
So today I've already started off pretty strong by making some bug fixes, and we're gonna be working on some stuff. Veek's working on our tools, which is very nice of him. And after that, I don't know what he's doing, but I know what I'm doing, which is more work on this stuff. So I need to figure out where what iScript this is. Oh, okay. So the Bactylisk one uses the Hydralisk remnants iScript. So I can just add this Bactylisk remnants. Call this Hydra Zerg Bactylisk Death. That way, at least if I'm searching for it later, I know what's going on. And I think the Firebat one probably uses the Marine one, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So we'll call this Firebat Remnants. And 434. Okay. What's going on, Ilya? I wonder if we don't care about it as much in Brood War, the tech restriction stuff, Iquare. I wonder if we don't care about that as much because it's like more common and also we know the tech tree more. Whereas with Exigo, it's like there's in theory a ton of options. I was talking to Veeq about this yesterday, actually, because I was talking about playing that Risk of Rain 2 roguelike game, and how it starts off and you're wondering, you haven't discovered the game yet, so you're still like wondering where they're going to take it, and you're like, wow, this could be good, actually. This could be fun. This could be engaging. And then they disappoint you somehow. And that's pretty much it. Like with Exigo, there's potential because you're not as familiar with the tech tree, so you still have to learn it in order to fully understand it, right? And I think you can really tell when a game is really high quality when the novelty factor of learning something new gives way to something actually potential, like really powerfully viable. We haven't really even passed that test with HYDRA since stuff gets added all the time, but it does feel like if you're able to you're able to solve at least for your own understanding of the game state. There's a lot of potential in HYDRA for repeated play and still having value, right? Which is what we're after. With Exigo, there's not really it feels like there's potential because we don't know as much about the tech tree, and then the flaws start to show themselves eventually, right? which is fine, but also something that you wish you didn't have to deal with. I was gonna find something to show. Polka. All right. The shape-shifting thing is kind of an interesting take because it's essentially like using enemy tech against themselves. The problem I have with it it feels like another one of those things that it takes a huge amount of APM and awareness to utilize for often comparatively little gain, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? So in order to like, yes, it has a lot of really interesting options and ramifications, but it doesn't feel like you get too much out of it, I guess. In my humble opinion. I think something like that could work in Hydra, but you'd have to make it like the main issue I would have is like making it not a crazy APM sync, but also not automatized enough that it feels like you can't control it, if that makes any sense. Because there's already some behaviors that feel like that as it stands, where you may not always want the effect, but you have to deal with it. But that creates like counterplay. I'm actually struggling to think of anything right now, but there are definitely some behaviors in the game that are not entirely beneficial, but you like in every single context. But anyway, I've implemented some of this stuff. Wait, what is this? Oh, I see. You redefined some stuff. So yeah, I'm ready to try that new plugin stuff for the Zoryusthaleth, but for now I'll just compile it in the latest. Well, I'll save this, and then I will compile the latest files. Another thing I wanted to do was check the brood list at 656. Thanks to Veeq's work on the extensions, I can now edit this in the file itself, and pretty soon I'll even be able to actually have names for this stuff, which is nice. So I know I want a selection circle of 1. The rest can probably stay, but I thought maybe it needed to be 8. And so this is our first time trying to use a modified sprite stat file using PyDat. Let's see what happens. Okay, well, not everything is broken, which is nice. Let's parasite some Skrylings, and then create some broodlisks. Okay. Yeah, that feels better. It's a little bit weird with that offset. This unit graphic in general is a little goofy, to be completely honest. but that's all right. And some of the frames are not aligned, unfortunately. But we'll go for it there. Some abilities can turn to be very punishing. Maelstrom Lockdown, when AI uses them as soon as it can. At least in HYDRA, we changed or completely removed these abilities so they have counterplay. Yeah. That makes sense. No, that's fine. I just assume that the treasury problem is super easy to solve, but when I tried to force button set onto it in game hooks and in button set CPP, both attempts failed. I have the button set defined in Firegraph already, but I'm not able to actually set the unit's button set, like modify it basically. And I'm not sure what needs to be done for that. I know it's 164, but it just defaults to back to none for the treasury itself. Obviously, the treasury is not in here. Like that's the thing, because it's 215 unit ID 215. I could just move it to another unit ID, but that just passes the buck, you know. In theory, I could swap the unit ID of the treasury with the unit ID of a structure that doesn't have a button set, and that would resolve the issue as well. But I'd rather not have to deal with that if I don't have to. Where's my nanite assembly? Here we go. I feel like I made an entry for the Mason already, but I may have removed it. That appears to be the case. This is Broodlisk. Well, that's the thing, is you benefit from your own units dying as much as anything else. We have to make it work on remnants of the building rubble. Building rubble. It looks like building rubble already has a header, so I will get the sprite IDs for the Zerg building rubble and add them to the sprite ID.h. We'll call it corpse Zerg building small, corpse Zerg building large. And we'll just go and find those in sprite stat. So that's 186 and 187. Well, you're that's what I think of the gaseous form ability, dude. I had a little gaseous form myself. No. I think you seem very enamored with that ability, though. You bring it up very. I think every single day you brought it up. It is really weird. It feels like it was. It's only really useful for transporting between the different height levels, though. So I think it's junk because I think the height level implementation by Exigo is junk. I think there was some other bug fix today, but I don't remember what it was. I guess we can say egg and energy related crashes have been resolved. I guess maybe that is a use for it. What is interesting is that it allows you to provide transportation to pretty much any unit, which is planned in some way or another in HYDRA. With the Maktisthuk, whatever that final concept looks like. Add Zerg building rebel. Wow. What a comedy of errors. Holy shit. Where's my... There we go. I was thinking of... I don't think this will be related to Warp Relay or Bulwark, but I was thinking of a Protoss unit that would enhance... It would essentially create a sort of... Not exactly like stasis, but it would freeze allied units in a radius. I'm not sure if it would be in an aura around it or if it would be... I think it would probably be best as a building. And my thought process was, if you task a unit onto the building, similar to the shield battery, and it's within range of the building, and the building has sufficient energy, maybe, once you do that with tasking the unit will then become stasis for a brief period of time, frozen for a brief period of time. Well, I guess stasis until it gets another order. And its next movement command will take it to the nearest pylon power field, the nearest allied pylon power field, to their destination. So if I'm sitting in, I take this zealot or this legionnaire and I task it onto the building, my zealot gets frozen, my legionnaire gets frozen, and then I right click over here, then my legionnaire would immediately teleport to this pylon power, this pylon right here, and start walking. So it would basically temporarily turn any pylon into a Nidus exit, is one way to think about it. Or a waygate from Warcraft 3. So originally I was thinking that would be a unit, but it seems more balanced to make it a building. I think that would be a more interesting way to handle things as well. But I'm not sure. It would have to be an expensive and potentially like very fragile structure. Just because otherwise, like the potential for it to be very, very destructive. What was I going to do next? Help me, Veeq. I don't know what I'm doing.
Me either.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm close to finishing the renaming stuff.
Oh, that's
nice.
pretty awesome. I was going to ask where the weapon stuff was. Let me see here. This is get armor tooltip string. I don't know where the attack speed. Oh, here it is. Attack CD modifier. I see you commented out the Valkyrie's lard code for the string display.
Just didn't look well with the new format. And
Yeah, well, it's
I
not.
think we also agreed for removing it, so
Yeah. No, that's a good thing. I don't see anything that's getting cooldown itself, though. I see set precision, attack CD. Oh, maybe attack CD is a variable that's... Oh, get modified weapon cooldown hook. Okay. So you got it from here. So I should look for Broodlisk. Or Scanted? Or Bulwark? Or Photon? I don't know. I don't know how the Broodlisk could get an upgrade to its thing. I'll just read through this whole thing. It's not very long. Terminal Surge, by the way. Wow, I can't find anything. Well, we still have unit for frontline shield recharge for augurs. Yeah, the problem is that shield recharging has not been proven to be a particularly compelling mechanic in terms of shield batteries or shield, like anything like that, for actual mobile armies. Ecclesiasts have flipped that script a little bit. Ecclesiasts are pretty good right now. I'm not 100% sure about what needs to be done other than that. I think augurs are not very good right now, but I'm not sure why exactly. But a big part of it is definitely their projectile and their weapon. Like they're not really fully implemented. I still need to figure out some sort of new projectile for them and then modify their DPS probably. I was also thinking I might rework them to just passively deal damage in like, well, maybe an additional behavior that's like um that deals area damage based on shield loss, which means just by default they would gain some area damage, but they would also deal more of it if they get hit. You know, like so if they sustain damage, they would dish out more damage. I'm not 100% sure how to do that. My initial thought process is to have in my imagination, what I've been thinking of is like beams of sort of like electricity almost that extend from the unit and zap like a specific target. Maybe the target that attacks them gets zapped, and otherwise they just zap nearby targets passively as they lose shields. And the beam's frequency would increase with the more shield damage it takes or something. But I don't actually know if that makes any sense, you know? Okay, so what is next? I'm looking at this list of bug fixes. Oh yeah, Icor sent me a hook that I should make. I still have to figure out what's up with the brood lisks, but Can deal with that later on. Oh, there's the blue traces on the eggs. I can look into that as well. Let me just open up the IDA. Materials. I'm not sure if I should put this in HYDRA unit AI. It doesn't seem like it's really the same thing, TBH. Maybe AI orders. I see we had some problems with this. It doesn't look like I actually ever finished it. Or even started to. Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of old stuff in here. So, whatever, I'll just leave that for now. Let's see what Nave has to say. Okay, so this... Okay. Meta card code. Love it. Don't actually know what this is, but I'm sure it's in here somewhere. Yeah, player table.
Is that a fucking crow? Ah!
Booga booga, you're back. What's up, dude? I don't even remember the other races' nukes. I think the human one is like a storm of some kind. All right, so we call this AI script controller. So there's just no underscore basically. And then we need to figure out what this is. See if we got any info here. Okay, it's called main medic. There we go. I don't know what is going on here. Hey, Veeq, explain this shit. I've got a variable given the value of the memory address. I think that's what ampersand is, of AI script controller.
No, it's actually getting address of something.
Yeah, the address of whatever this is.
Yeah.
Is that different than memory address? Is memory address more specific or something?
So ampersand gives you memory address, and asterisk gives you the value of the memory address.
Yeah, that's why
so
I said there's an ampersand, and I think that's a memory address. But then you said no, it's an address, so I got confused.
Yeah, so I just misunderstood you.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, it looks
So
like it's a
getting the
pointer,
address, and
so-
then it's accessing it like a pointer later on.
Yeah, so it looks okay, but I imagine it shouldn't be like the type is probably wrong. It's probably not an integer, but a C unit, I imagine.
AI script controller is AI main. Oh yeah, so it's taking the address
This
of a
is
C
main
unit.
medic.
Yeah, main medic is a C unit. So V5 should be a C unit then. I'm not sure.
Does it fix it?
It's taking a sweet fucking time, dude. It's nervous.
I imagine you don't actually need the ampersand, but probably an arrow. I would have to guess. Oh, because it has like a array access thing, so I think it's not needed.
Well, it also is not actually finishing parsing this. Because as you can see, it hasn't lit up like normal C units do, so it's still taking its fucking time. I'll just restart the program.
Wow. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, I'm almost done with it, Iquare. Okay, so it still threw an error. I don't know what he meant by arrow, because there could be a caret or something else, but it looks like it's fine to take that. But I don't know. I'll ask him about that later. I forget what special ability flags are. I think it's base property. It's been a while since I've done something like this.
So yeah, I guess removing ampersand helped you.
Yeah, I removed it, and then I also had to remove the asterisk access to the variable. But in this case, I should just take this and do that, I think. There's no point in having it be a variable. But I don't know if I still need to access the memory or the access it like a pointer. I don't know what you think about that.
Wait, what is result?
Result is
it's
a unit ID. It's a C,
Okay.
one of the args. It's a C unit.
So yeah, I guess it looks okay.
Okay.
So what was your question, anyways?
Because it was originally taking the value, the address through ampersand, and
Yeah.
then the variable was being accessed like a pointer. I wasn't sure if that meant that. I mean, I know the two sort of cancel each other out if you remove both of them, but I wasn't sure if that was actually the right move to remove them all, both. But it's not showing a compiler error, so maybe it's fine. Usually, if I'm like accessing a pointer, or I'm not accessing it like a pointer, and it should be, it usually does. It underlines it in red. What is this anyway? I think new unit is actually parent. Okay. Also, I need some way to know that a simulacrum has been spawned through the new function, if that makes any sense.
Huh?
I need to find a way to track if a simulacrum has been spawned through the ability or from a production structure. So I need to be able to say,
You might assign a global, I guess.
yeah.
So anyways, actually AI training unit is already hooked. It's called inherit AI2.
Really?
It's the same function, yeah.
The same one I'm actually doing right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was actually looking it up lately. So
Okay, well, Iquare can just...
it's the exact same address.
He should have just looked that up when he told me that I needed to hook it. Okay, so I should delete this then. All right, and then where is this located in? Is it an API or?
Let me see. I know it was used by create unit for mobility. It's called a function that was using create AI2. I will look it up. One sec.
Probably create unit in game is the function you're talking about?
Yeah, that's the one.
I try to jump to create unit in game and it sends me to fix target location.
Ah, wow.
Well, there's func create unit below
It's
that.
in API CPP. It's in here AI2. Yeah. Oh, it's actually a wrapper, so
All right, well,
that's
fuck you.
why.
Thanks. Just undo what I canceled. Well, it's weird that that's a wrapper since this is a pretty straightforward function. There's no need for it. I wonder why it's throwing an error for me. I guess it is. I don't know what's going on there exactly. Oh, I see. It's because it's missing the type. So yeah, there's no results. We don't have to worry about that. Oh, this one returns char. Weird. Okay. I think I'll just delete everything for the old broken function that I never finished, since I'd rather just start from scratch if I'm going to try to do that. Okay. That's more like it. We'll say... just gotta come in here and call this. And AI orders inject. Actually, is this even correct? Where's my AI orders CPP? Reasonable. I think I might have to restart IDA for that one. You liked different races / options in Battlecry 3. You don't like that many of them feel the same. Yeah. We need like 30 races and for them to all feel different. And it is possible, even though it's going to be challenging. As far as turns, Protoss, and Zerg in the new engine, who knows, man. We will see. Okay, let's do some shit. As far as other Starcraft-like games, I don't know of any. Let me know if you find some. Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a two-nopper. Two-nopper. And then EAX and ECX. I forget for void wrappers, do we return or do we not return? Or rather, do we ret n or do we not ret n in assembly?
I think it depends if you're using stack variables.
No,
and I don't think
just
you're doing
registers.
this.
So just pop.
Yeah, so I think you don't need this. Yeah.
I will get Iquare's opinion as well, just to be sure.
But you should return a result as the normal C++ keyword, I'm pretty sure.
There is no result for this. It's
okay.
a void function. We'll go for it. So should be good there. Okay. So iQuare said that he is done with the reconstitution stuff, so I'll check that out. Meanwhile, I think everything is set up for the swarming omen behavior, but for whatever reason, it wasn't working when I was trying it. So here we have reconstitution is 26. Swarming omen is 42. I think in tech ID I needed to change that, but maybe he already did. Yeah, 2642 seems correct to me. Oh, he says it's unfinished. I have to jump to C unit layout. He said that he found my stuff, so that actually should be fine. I think I used Tech 40 as observance or something. iQuare also recommended that I go into weapon cooldown and write some debug messages, but I don't know what would be useful for that. I mean, I could print the cooldown value, but I don't know how I would. Not sure how I would do it. I'll search the whole document for anything referencing broodlisks, and failing that, I'll see what else I can find. That's incubators. Broodlisk weapon. Okay, that's a no. And then I don't actually know what the hex value is. It's 51. Besides finding one in icon ID or something, I don't think. Oh, okay, didn't get anything. Scanted. Unit is standard and movable. Don't think that's related though. I don't think we have any of these units available now. So just turn that one off. See a nerd. Well, anyway. Besides these, removing the critters over here. I don't think there's really anything left. Hopefully, by the end of this stream, we'll have taken care of that bug with AI controlled units from Revived by Apostles freezing. Bonk. I've got to also take a look at the defiler mound here on the website. Oh. Also, the Zorius Shroud and the Zorius List should not be an assault, I don't think. Maybe I decided to give them that because of the frontline potential or something.
Okay, I've just pushed the update for renaming. It looks like it's perfectly working. It's separate for every file. It's like serializes the txt file that's saved in the same folder. So should be useful.
So the txt file will be saved in the same folder as the dat file?
Yeah.
The only excuse me, the only concern I have with that is that now we're gonna have text files inside the exes, but I guess that's actually good for if anybody wanted to open them. They could use the txt files in conjunction with the dat files.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I think that's the most like flexible solution because you don't have to like store them in a weird folder and link them every time.
Yeah.
It's just automatic, so should be nice.
I will start setting those up now, actually, as soon as I'm done setting up these I'm doing some website shit right now. Excellent work, man.
Just a reminder, you should probably commit those files after you set them up because it might actually. I mean, I did test the application, but it might corrupt the files somehow. I'm not yet like sure if it's 100% working. Looks like it is, but
What do you mean by commit the files? You like back them up, or
yeah.
what do you mean?
I guess
exactly?
committing them to repo would be enough.
Yeah.
You can obviously
Automatic.
rename them from the PyDot itself. You don't have to actually open the files, which I think should be useful.
Yeah. I think you're right about that. I'm about to get intimately familiar with that mechanic. Means nest. Oh, I need the Zoriustaleth over there as well. Cool. So that's done. Okay. I think we are pretty solidly set up here. It'd be really banging if HYDRA ends up implementing both of those abilities. Like the second one's already almost done, but I can't figure out how to make it activate. If he's able to do all of them, and then also do that apostle fix, that would be a patch, dude. That would be a patch and a half. I'll take care of that excess, or what is it, the that edge case that you were talking about with adding a an A's value for the simulacrums that are split. Just gonna jump to AI orders. Result value ID. Okay, and then I can jump in here, save that, push this, and I shall send this iQuery's way. Come on, get ahead, you idiot. So we still have the Bridlisk bug that I've got to debug with some sort of message, and we still have a couple of other things.
By the way, what was the import-export setting you were referencing before?
I was asking if we could have in PyGRP.
Oh, the separate ones.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically making it so that you could import from a format that and export from another format without having to click down to here. Because then I would always import from frameset and export in vertical, for example. So for my use case, that's what I would set it up as, but I think it would also be useful in other cases as well. I'll take a quick break. And when I come back, we will continue development. BRB. All right, I'm back. Uh-oh. Well, I was stupid. Do I still have a Veeq? You might have AFK'd.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
What's up?
Oh, you already did that.
Yep.
Machine man.
I'd like you to actually test if it's working because I didn't have any file to test it on.
Yeah. Okay. So I will test it on. I'm sure there's something here that I can test it with. Tool updates, by the way. So this is 7 and export. Let's see. Yeah, it seems to work.
Cool.
Epic. That will definitely be very helpful. So I appreciate you doing that. Okay, let's get to the meat and potatoes of these updates. Oh, I forgot to remove those unused variables. Hold on. I'm not using V2, V3, V4, or V5, so see ya. All right. Looks like Zoryustaleth is good to go as well. Although, or it will be whenever Iquare pushes it.
So I've also pushed a small tweak for renaming, so it's more convenient to actually use. Previously, it was like not prompting anything in the window. It was like rename to nothing. By default, now it's like inheriting the name you were renaming. So
Oh, nice.
should be more useful. So fix the bug with cancel button, changing the value. So what else do we have on the to-do list today?
I need to get a read for the Zoryustaleth reconstitution ability, and also for its other stuff, its other ability. Let's see here. What else do we have on the to-do list? Good question. Icor is going to check the Apostle freeze next, he said. We have an issue with spider mines failing to burrow fully, but I couldn't track that down to an issue with the iScript, so I don't actually know what's causing that. So basically, they'll burrow first the correct time, and then every other time, this also happens with lobotomy mines, every other time, if they unburrow, move to a target, and then reburrow, they don't fully reburrow, so they're not cloaked, and they can't acquire another target. I thought it was an iScript thing, because that's what it would sound like, is like a SIG order doesn't get sent properly, but I don't know what else it would be. We need to find a way to force a button set for the treasury because Firegraft ate the unit entry. In theory, I could hex edit the unit back in, but I don't know how to do any hex editing. And I don't know where to go either. Apparently, AI-controlled Dark Archons occasionally target their allies. Still haven't been able to figure that out. It's not in the AI script code, like the idle orders. So it sounds like it's some issue with the spellcasting, the default spellcasting or something. It might be a death rattle where maybe some area damage did damage to it or something, I guess. I'll look into that. There's cancel button issues with savants, paladins, and future stations because they are above a certain threshold in the unit entry. So when you're training them or building them, they don't show the cancel button. Warp flashes now correctly play when Protoss structures finish construction. Yeah, warp flashes need a rework. I don't know what we're going to do with that yet. And then there's a bug with SCV explosions being persistent. Okay. Apostle. Oh, nice fucking debug messages. Very helpful, Icor. Okay. Oh, that's what happened. Okay, so I figured out the Apostle issue, the issue with the SCV explosions. It's that the explosion effect plays again, but if you kill the unit before the explosion effect finishes, it will freeze. So if you kill the unit as it's reviving, basically, which is easier to do than you might think, because they can take like AOE effect damage, they can sustain, they can just be like automatically acquired before their animation even finishes. So one thing to do would be to make the unit invulnerable while reviving, but aside from that, that's just a workaround, really. I don't know how to fix this, like the cause of this, but I know what's causing it.
You could technically remove the sprite on death, but I guess you would need to link it somehow.
Yeah, that's the thing is so in the SCV unused one, I think it is, we imgall it, so it's actually an image and not a sprite. And so maybe if we sprawl it instead of an imgall, it might work better. So that's what I'll try as my attempted fix for this specific thing.
So what is the actual difference between those two?
So an image can be overlaid and it follows the graphic. It follows the graphic that it was called as an overlay for.
Oh.
Sprawl will stay in the exact position that it was in. So
So I imagine Sprawl would actually.
it's probably
finish.
linked to the unit, is what I'm thinking, and it would get probably automatically removed. But I'm not 100%
Maybe.
sure. So this image is 332, which is explosion 2. It doesn't look like it has a sprite entry. Okay, so we can create another one, which means I need to jump down here and figure out where the next entry is. So it looks like 657 is one that is not used. Oh, I think we have that. Oh, never mind. 656 is Broodlisk, so it actually has similar stuff. Wait. Is the Almac Anter still a goofball? Yeah, okay. So I didn't actually provide these. So this is 7, 1, 10, 11 for the Almac Anter. What's the hotkey for rename, by the way?
F2.
Okay.
I wonder why are all extended sprites number 1?
Probably a result of your most recent change, if I had to guess.
Did it only happen on set amount?
It only happened today, before they actually had numbers. Like when I opened it up yesterday. Is visible, yes. Almac Anter is not from Toddborn. I've modified an Aatrox graphic, I think. I mean, I think I used the unmodified version of the same graphic in Toddborn, but that's... I'm only using it here because there's not really that many assets for Zerg, unfortunately. Okay, so we know this is supposed to tie to Explosion 2. So set it to that. And we'll say 657 is what we're looking at here, so... Alright, I'm going to hope that this works. Still in sort of uncharted territory here. And after this, I'll test Zoryusalith's. Nice corpse. Yeah, it seems to be fixed. So yeah, that fixes that. Okay. What was I doing next? Oh yeah, testings or use the lefts. There we go. Got to build the plugin again. This is looking pretty epic. The fixed bug list is now like significantly larger than the bug list, even though I just added another one because there was the Irolith armor tooltip thing that you reported a while ago. I'm just assuming there's unit ID hardcode for these things. Can you take a look at the Spider-Mine iScript for me, Veeq, and see, like, just a second pair of eyes on it might help reveal why there's that issue, if it is an iScript issue. But nothing that I saw looked suspicious.
For Vulture?
For Spider-Mine.
Oh, for Spider-Man? Okay.
It's ISID 26, or sorry, ISID 87. And iScript TXT in the dev build. I'm looking at it right now, and the pertinent things are borrow and unborrow. There's that sig order 4 on either end. I'm thinking maybe there could be something that in GPTP removes the sig order before, like for the spider miner. I'm not sure though. I will now grab it from here. It was nice to be able to do a 50-minute test earlier and no crash. Pretty epic. Oh, it did take 8 years for the AI to kill each other though, so.
So what should I actually look at in this script?
Borrow and unborrow, but again, I just looked at it again. I don't really see anything there. If there's anything in there that looks like if you follow through the code, you could see where it could get stuck, let me know. I'm about to test it right now, Iquare.
I mean, local 0 is endless loop, but I imagine
Yeah, that
it's not
gets
a
like
problem.
that's only maintain. That basically is like while it's waiting for an animation to override the
Oh,
active
it
animation. It
looks
uses
good
that.
for me.
Yeah. Oof. I've been blinded. Yeah, looks to have worked. This unit is pretty fucking goofy looking though. I might try to remove some of the highlighting around the unit because it does look like it's especially on creep or whatever. Oh, and this shadow is fucked though. I should just fix that later. Let me... He gobbles them all up and fully heals. Slurp. I'm going to test to see if the Zoryusthaleth will still do it when it has no energy. So maybe we can increase it to 10 since there's no energy cost. Or I guess we could add an energy cost for while it's active. That would probably be better.
Just push the bug fix for Pilot.
Nice. I'll have to reload my PyDat. Oh. What up, prankster? I also have to add... wait, do I still have this open somehow? Somewhere? Some way? Oh, I actually don't have... Before I do that, iQueer, I'd like to get that Lazarus fix for AI units, and I also need to actually get the other ability for these Zerustalith implemented. I did most of the work for Swarming Omen already, including like setting it up in unit speed and stuff, so the actual effect is fine. When I was in Use Tech, I wasn't able to actually make it work, though. So I went into Use Tech, Case Tech ID Swarming Omen. I copied it from Ensnaring Brood, and I gave it a new value ID, and I figured it would send the command. And then in Game Hooks, where is it? Here it is. In Game Hooks, there's a Swarming Omen ability. If the ability is 1, then apply a timer to the unit, and then set the ability thing to 0, just to reset it. And then in unit speed, the Swarming Omen ability is checking for if the timer it's basically the manifold code copied, and it's checking for Zergs or Eusthaleths in the frontal arc of 10 times 32, because the range is 10. And then it checks to see if they have a Swarming Omen timer that is greater than 0. And if that's the case, accelerate. So I don't know if anything like of this looks wrong, or if something obvious stands out to you, but for whatever reason, the Swarming Omen ability was not... didn't seem to be used correctly. All right, so this is working. I'm going to test the Lazarus change that iQueer just made, and see what we got here. What's up, DF? How you doing? All right, so only problem is now they are still invulnerable for quite a long time after the animation. So that did not work, because now I've got like an extra while. It looks like we already have a flag for that, which is like Lazarus no heal. So in theory, we could have just done that one, but is reviving. Is that out? I'm not really sure how that's possible for it to not work, though, because obviously unused 1 goes to walking to idle pretty immediately, so yeah, I don't know what's causing that. What was the other stuff in here? Globals. Okay, so the code is right here. It gives it invincible status and reviving. Is reviving. Is it maybe that it's giving it over and over again? I wouldn't imagine. I don't know. I'm kind of confused by that. I don't know how that has happened. Okay. Well, while I wait for iCore to write back to me about that stuff, I will go back to setting up the PyDat junk. One thing I noticed is that, okay, there is a sprites.txt file in here, actually. Too bad it crashed when I tried to open that file. Any idea about that one, Veeq? It's me trying to open a sprites.txt while the or sprites.dat with the sprites.txt in it.
I will take a look at it.
Thanks. Would be epic. You know what that means, guys? I get to actually rename the units in the units data as well. Here we go. Oops. Interesting. So when I opened unitstat, it created units.txt, and then I was able to open unitstat again afterwards without making any changes.
So did it actually work?
No, sprites.dat is what's crashing. I can send you the files so you can try to recreate it. Is that the case? No, that is the manifold, my man. I assume 17 was taken for something else as well. Yeah. Honestly, it's pretty epic to be able to actually name your shit. Resets my view to have the thing down all the time. I don't know why. The scroll bar, I mean the renamed entry becomes the bottommost one on my list.
That's weird.
Yep. Seems to only happen when the scroll bar is scrolled down at all. When it was all the way to the top, it wasn't happening. Finally, I can do the most important one. Where is it? There it is. Oh no, it sets it to the middle of the view. Yeah, something's fucked up there. Oh shit! We got the beaver in here. Finally. Witness! I have to wait for somebody else to say it. I can't just start spouting it off myself. So thank you for giving me the opportunity. Mucho queso, my man. Actually, I have not yet, but I'm sure I will. Eventually. Oh, this is turn Wyvern, turn Cyprian. I'm certainly open to suggestions on the naming side of things. So. Finally I get to call it a medbay, as was for Todd. What the fuck? Wait a second. Hold the phone. What did I just rename? Oh. I selected the wrong entry. Also known as a big prank. Oh. Synthetic cyanide, by the way. I think it's a good one. Synthetic cyanide. It's very like you get all the mouth noises that those ASMR people like. Traps SMH. I think I've gotten pretty much everything at this point. Oh. Oh wait. Drydock isn't in the game anymore, so what is 225? Sanctum of Sorrow. Zerg gas sac. Type 2. Oh. God damn it. $226. Photos Grand Library. And there we go, sire. Did you already fix that thing that I was?
I'm working on it.
Oh, okay. In that case, I'm gonna test with this unit. Huh. Seems to work. Okay, looks like I can open units, but not sprites for some reason. I'm going to open an older version of the units debt. There's gas sac type 2. Okay. Actually, it seems like Control R didn't work anyway, so oh, whatever. Okay. Well, the units should be corrected now. I will move hold incorrect anchors. Okay. iQuery has apparently fixed the AI issue with Lazarus agents, or with Apostle Lazarus agent thing. So I can add that to the list. Okay, so will I put Dark Templar Zealot and the Robot one in the game? If you're talking about from StarCraft 2, probably not. I already have a robotic melee Protoss warrior though. He's not like got all the sound effects and animations that I want. Not that you can hear the sounds right now anyway, but he's got that going for him. I should actually unmute Brood War anyway. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna post the latest stuff in here. So I posted the bug fix thing in order of priority for the in the programming. Then I'm gonna work on AI support for the new Zerg units, and then I should be good to go to ship this after that. Assuming we can at least figure out what's going on with that sprite stat thing. Which I'm hopeful for.
Yeah, I already pushed a fix.
Oh, okay.
And should be working.
I will attempt to open it right now so I can tell you if it worked. If I can actually get to my folder. There we go. Yeah, nice. Thanks for that.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll fill in that list, I think, when I get back, and then I'll do the AI stuff. Yeah, I still got plenty of time. Well, still have about an hour. Should be enough time. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, and then when I come back, I'll do that stuff. There was something else I was going to ask iQueer, but I can't remember what it was. How has Risk of Rain 2? I mean, I still play it every now and then. Shit. I don't know. It's one of those games that my brother and I play games together all the time that like I would never play by myself, generally speaking. And I think that's true for a lot of people. A lot of people will find value in an experience when they play it with other people or whatever. Bonk. I can't use the down arrow key to move down after renaming an entry. Lame. Yeah, you heard that, but you didn't hear all the hi and how are you, motherfucker. I also like how occasionally Veeq will communicate to me through Morse code by activating his push to talk and then saying nothing and then...
Well, happens sometimes. What
funny.
I wanted to say is you might actually want to remove all the extended sprite one from the txt file, so it will reset the indexing. It's pretty useless right now with all of the entries having one.
I don't know how to do that in a way that would guarantee that I
So
wouldn't...
you'd actually need to like make all the entries blank lines.
Oh, okay.
Like the empty lines.
Yeah, it should be easy to do in Notepad then. Notepad++, I mean. So how are you, Tito Man? Hey. What did I just close? Fuck. I don't remember. I don't see anything. It wasn't PyDat. It wasn't my browser. Maybe it was my browser. There's another window? I don't know, man. That seems kind of dangerous. TBH. Oh, it was just Notepad++. Never. Now I know. I thought it was something related to what I was doing. So yeah, I'm not sure if you plan on fixing the thing I was talking about with the... I think the...
I just noted down somewhere. I'm currently trying to do some PyDot stuff, but to actually extend like every prompt to actually have like any ID.
Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah.
Actually, select anything you want.
I'm also glad that even though it's referencing IDs that don't exist in my images.dat file, it's still considering them as valid, because otherwise this would really fuck a lot of things over. Oh, I see. Welcome back, dude. No, Firegraph deleted the entry. I'm just renaming file. So I was using plain text to organize extended entries, but Veeq recently not only made it so that we can read extended entries in PyDat, the GUI, we could also rename these fucking files, which is really nice. We couldn't do that before. So for example, if I wanted to go and look at a unit, so like this is the default unit stat file is a great example. If I wanted to look at some unit shit that I'm like, say I wanted to look at one of the extended units, right? So I would have to take, say, like, oh, I'm looking for the Nathra core, and I know what the Nathra core's unit ID is. Well, I know which unit it replaces, the devouring one. But if I didn't know that, I'd be like, oh, let me open up like some reference file here, and then I have to search Nathra core. And I'm like, oh, it's 54. Okay, well, then I can come back and go type 54 into the ID jump. But now, with the new setup that Veeq was able to put together, I can just open the unit stat file, and because I've renamed it, I can just search Nathra core, and it shows up here. So it's actually much better in that respect. Yeah, he managed to make it happen. It's pretty cool. So currently he's like expanding some other support for a few other things. Okay, so this is, what is that, Pegasus? Pegasus, Phobos, Penumbra. The 3 Ps. I'm not sure why I have 2. I think maybe one of them is broken or something. Ah! Will I make a super barrack for upgraded units that have double HP or more? More like Meme Smith. There are plans for tier 2 or it's a tier 3 barracks, just like there's a tier 3 whatever the other thing is. Starport, the nanite assembly. But I haven't filled in all the concepts for the actual units yet. Still working on that one. I guess we'll just call this missile. 602. I don't have that many more to go, thankfully. I guess we'll call this Backdoll Den. Oh, I skipped one. Oh, 621 is actually... defective. And this is Madrigal. One. This is like a siege tank. Well, what would even this be? This is like shock cannon, explosion, silent, and then Firegraph does not have the source. Python tools, yeah, they have source. Apostle is called Medic in the Barracks add-on tooltip. As in, like, the medbay says enables medics and shamans or something. Yeah, we'll say shamans, apostles. Thanks. I've fixed that. I guess it's not really a laser, right? It's a torpedo. Six, 3, 4. Wait. Oh, this is Cascathable or weapon. Nice. This might be the most satisfying bug fix. Yeah, C++ is definitely the way to go, I think. It's more performant and certainly more flexible. You can ask Veeq what he thinks of Python if you want. If you want to awaken the beast. All right, I'm going to close this now, and I'm going to reopen it. Ta-da! Next thing is obviously to rename weapons, but I'm not sure if I feel like doing that right now. I have to do AI support stuff.
I just pushed some changes. They are unbinding some limits.
Yes, sir.
For PyDat.
The treasury has a button set, guys! Oh, don't mouse over
Oh, that's
that
cool.
tooltip, though.
How did you do that?
iQuery did it.
Hex editing?
What happened?
Was it hex editing or did he like hardcode it?
No, he set it to he made it so that it would read the button set of the start location, and then I was able to set the start location's linked button set to the treasury.
Okay.
Pretty psycho
That
workaround.
works too.
But it can actually build comm sets, guys.
Cool.
Frequencies.
Need to break this.
Good day, Commander.
Now you should just make treasury and armory be able to lift it, honestly.
Are you some kind of fucking noob, dude? Does this look like a mobile structure or what?
Good job.
I haven't actually given it an animation, obviously, and the shadow's fucked up because of it, but that's been there for a while. But I could do the same thing to the treasury, I guess. Yeah, the treasury has the same add-ons as the command center. It always had the ability to do it. Like, AI could have done it, but there's no button for the human to interact with, so they couldn't do it. However, the one issue that I've noticed, and I'm not sure if anybody knows how to fix this, is while the treasury is being built, but not while it's actually not... Like, while it's done, there's no armor icon, but while it's being built, there is an armor icon, and if you mouse over it, you crash. I think every Terran structure should be liftable. You just shouldn't be able to attack if it's an attacking building. But I agree, iQuery. Do you have if anybody has any idea why that would happen? Like, I've looked at the unit preset in Firegraph, and like, well, I can't edit the unit preset in Firegraph, so that's probably actually what it is. You know how you can set the status preset to a building? I'm assuming that's what's the cause of it. Like, I can't set it to building.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, and we wanted to also show unit cost to...
The time?
No, we wanted to set the unit time cost up in the tooltip for when you mouse over this, but I don't think this is...
Yeah, that would be cool.
It would be awesome to see that.
BRB?
Okay. I'm thinking maybe we can fix at least fix the crash part of it by setting its armor upgrade to something unused, which would be like... I actually don't remember if structure armor is still even in the game. I forget what yeah, I'm not really 100% sure even if that's possible. Hard coding a status preset like so. So I wanted to look at the upgrades and see if I could find structure armor, but I don't think there are any. So if I look at upgrade stat for all of this stuff, what does 59 look like? Yeah, it looks like it's just residual stuff. So I will set the icon to I think I'll basically just copy vehicle plating, but I'll set the icon to Caduceus reactor and set the string to 397. We'll copy that. I don't actually intend on releasing this, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay, I'm back.
Hi. So
Hi.
we'll go into units and set the armor upgrade to 59 and close this. Okay.
So what was the issue with Python anyways, with renaming?
Yes, sir?
Yeah, now it won't crash,
Job
which is nice.
finished.
Hey, it even shows the thing the whole time. It's a weird, but really. I guess I should actually set up an entry for the other races as well, so that on the off chance that any of them will show the armor tooltip. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure that out later. You were asking about.
So you're
HYDRA.
like having some
when
problem with
so when I rename something, like if I go into weapons, and I rename this to I hit Control R, so fuck. I actually don't think reload value is even working, but out of so Control R is the rename hotkey in Firegraph, so I'm used to using that for Brood War stuff. But so I edit this to I think it's retractor yeah, I'm looking at the string over there. Retractor batteries, and then if I hit the down key, nothing happens. If I hit F2 again, nothing happens, like if I typoed. Because I think it's not setting this back to the focus. So I have to click back and then hit it down.
Focus.
Yeah, so I think
And
fixing...
you also had some problem with scroll.
Yeah, so if it was scrolled down, for example, if I went over here, it looks like this is Vorval Clause, or... Oh no, this is actually for the Nathra core. Hold on, let me open up unit stat again. Yeah, so this is Clause Vorvaling. So it's not doing it right now for some reason, but... Yeah, there you go. So like for some reason it just jumps my scroll back up. I'm not sure if this is the same thing that's fucking with the scroll in PyTile, but probably not the same thing, but it's a similar thing. Oh, it looks like 28 is not a used weapon, which is really nice, actually. I can use this for the Zorius-the-Leth weapon. Sort of monstrous maw. Okay. And then I can just set it up to be 10, 1, Terran or Zerg melee attacks. 0.16. Oh, classic. I can't seem to actually enter in more than 2 decimals in the cooldown field. I'm also not sure if it just converts it to 22 or what. So we'll say normal hit, and it's normal damage, and range is just 1 because it's a melee attack.
I should be converting properly, but I'm not sure why it's not allowing more than 2 digits.
Well, what I mean is, I don't know if this sec value matters, or if I'm pretty sure cooldown is what's used by the game. So I don't know if it's like rounding down or up correctly in the preview. Presumably it is, like what you were saying. So I'll call it Zerg structure carapace proton structure plating. And over here we'll call this, oops, I accidentally inserted a string. Whatever, we'll just call this one Monstrous Ma 1811. And I think we're done. Okay, I'm looking at just a couple of renames here. I know that the Gemini missiles weapon ID is also open, which is pretty cool. So
Okay, so I fixed the focus loss issue. The scroll thing is problematic because it's actually refreshing the like the whole list if it's like doing anything with it, and it needs to like rescroll, and it's scrolling to ID, not the actual like what you were looking at.
Right.
And I'm not sure how I can actually store the scroll. It looks like I can only scroll to an ID, not to like scroll percentage. It's pretty annoying. I try to look at the Pi iScript thing, Pi ice thing, because I remember I actually had similar problem there.
Apparently I'm not using that entry. Pretty cool, if so. All right, man. I'm looking forward to it as well. Honestly, even though you've only been here for a little while in the grand scheme of things, you've started some really nice conversations. You've had some pretty cool ideas. And just your enthusiasm for the project, regardless of how helpful you are in the future, I just wanted to say thanks for your contributions already, because it's been pretty banging to have you around. And looking forward to playing some more games with you, against you, whatever ends up happening. But yeah, here's to the future, man. Thanks for hanging out. Merry Christmas. Exactly. Kind of confused about all of the different... There's like a bunch of repeats in here. Or a couple of repeats. Eon's Madness is listed as 75, so what is 128? Oh, that's final hour. Okay. And then I saw that there was an entry in here that seemed to also be deprecated. Or maybe I'm thinking of something else. Those defibrillators. Yeah, okay. So we can get rid of that. That's no longer active.
So yeah, I managed to fix the scroll issues with what I found in PyIce.
Oh,
what I
very
used there.
nice.
So should be functional.
I like the way that you said that. Like you weren't sure. Awesome. Thank you kindly.
Well, I can never be sure with Python, honestly.
Alright, I'm going to build the latest thing here just in case, but I'm pretty sure I already have the latest stuff. And I'm going to drop this in there. So we still don't really know why broodlisks are getting that attack speed increase. Oh yeah, fix them being able to be loaded into transports. And we can say, oh, one thing I'm noticing is that, oh wait, no, maybe this is just because I don't have weapons dot open. Yeah, it looks like the weapon name is not referencing the external definition when we're looking at the weapon link between units and weapons. I don't know if that's something you can actually fix though.
I will look at it.
Okay, thanks. Okay, close that. That bugs out, and go ahead and load the latest plugin. And I think we're good. All right, I'll push this latest stuff. You have any idea how we would be able to use debug messages to track what's enhancing the broodlisk weapon?
Yeah, I wanted to do something.
All right, I am pushing the latest stuff. Man, I lost complete track of everything that we put together today. I'm going to say... Oh, that's the thing I was going to ask Iquare, but he's long gone now. I still don't know why the Zoroastrolith's the Swarming Omen ability doesn't work. That's the one thing that's like left to tackle with that. So we'll say spawn. I can do some debugging for that real quick. The icon's obviously wrong. And we will say icon is 350. Appear on attacker. So very clearly not a DPS heavy unit, we'll say that much. Okay. That is an epic picture. Pull that. So I still have to do AI implementation of stuff, but I'm not going to be able to hang around long enough to do that. So I will have to patch that up later, which delays the patch a little bit. Well, I guess I could just leave it. The one thing that gets fucked up is that they won't know how to do how to make defilers. So that's why I wanted to wait. That, and it's way better if the AI can use 1,000,000 quasilisks or whatever. So I'm going to check on...
I think it's the minimum cutoff
What do you mean?
that increases the Broodlisk cooldown. It's like the last thing in weapon cooldown. I'm just confirming. 1 sec.
Oh shit, homie.
Yep, it's that.
Is that like an obvious? How do we fix that bug exactly? Do you know? You already know.
We remove the minimum cutoff, probably.
But I don't understand how it's the minimum cutoff. Is it maybe its weapon is set improperly? Let me see.
Its cooldown is like super low.
Oh yeah, it's set to 2. Somehow. So it wasn't really my bug, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't a bug with GPTP as much as it was supposed to be 0.83 and it's 0.083. All right, I'll see if that fixes it. So don't bother with any GPTP changes for now.
Okay.
I'm not sure how that managed to slip by me. Okay, so we have lobotomy mine. Reverse thrust. This is no longer phase link. It's HYDRA and Eclipse. Okay. Pretty epic that we managed to title all those. All right. So, oops. What else do we got here anyway?
Hailing frequencies open.
Yeah, I think that might be a bit more reasonable. I'm wondering why it's wireframe isn't in. I probably didn't put it in. 9.3. It is in, so I must just not have converted or compiled this. Okay. Accidentally clicked on SEM draft. I haven't made a map in what feels like 10 years. Okay, so that's fine. We fixed that. Very nice. Okay, I also was able to verify that it looks like the effect is activated correctly for the timer and all that for the other ability. What happens is there's something about the ability finder and stuff that I put together here that is broken. For a swarming omen. So it's supposed to check only organic units. And check to see if they are if it's greater than 0, I feel like that should be fine. No, I don't think it's necessary to do that. You just have, pretty sure it would perpetually loop the entire time, print nonsense messages. Oh, it would only print does not have swarm timer. If it was actually found, so. It also isn't spending energy, I've noticed. So it finds the Zoryusthaleth in the range. Oh. No wonder. That's a dumb idiot move by me. But yeah, I'm not sure why the... I guess I have to do unit, spend unit energy. Tech data, that. Okay, we'll see if that fixes the unit energy problem as well.
something to shoot. Give me something to shoot. Let's move. Outstanding.
Well, it does
Go, go,
work,
go.
but it doesn't spend the unit's energy, even though I've specifically wrote it in here. And let me just make sure that the tech ID is correct. This should be 42. And then I just edited tech data. So that 42 is swarming omen, energy cost 50. Maybe it's an issue with the map needing its stuff reset. So I will open tech data in here. And make sure that this is set up correctly. And I've got to remove the use tech debug message. And then I've got to I'm not sure if he if iQuare yeah, he did remove the text. Okay. Nice. I can delete that. Well, would you believe it? I think we may have just fixed everything. Still is not spending the unit energy, which is really dumb. Let me see if I can't figure out what's going on here. I have no idea. No way to navigate that without renaming all of those things. All right. Well, we still managed to get a lot of stuff done here, so we'll say that that's taken care of at this point. I would stay for longer and do the AI stuff, but I got a talk show to do in less than an hour, so I got to prepare for that. And as a result, I'm out of here. Thanks again for your help, Veeq. Honestly, those tool updates are really fucking nice, and I guarantee you're going to save me a ton of time in the future. So,
I hope so.
mucho queso, my man. Mucho fucking queso. And I'll be, yeah. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Bye.
Bye.